guys, and welcome to today's video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking you through my thoughts on the Gigi Hadid Maybelline collaboration. For those of you that don't know, Maybelline and Gigi Hadid recently collaborated to make a bunch of new makeup. The packaging looked beautiful and I was really excited to try it, so I picked up a bunch of it from ulta.com. I didn't pick up everything in the collection because, spoiler, it's a little bit expensive, but I did pick up a lot. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so the first product that I used was this Tinted Primer, and I got mine in the shade light to medium, and I'm glad I read the directions on this because it's called a primer, which makes you think you're gonna put it all over your face, but it's actually a contour primer. So you're supposed to put this in all of the places that you would normally contour. So hollows of the cheeks, along the hairline, and apply it as kind of a contour base before you apply your foundation. What I found with this product is that it did contour my face and I could see it after I first applied it, but as soon as I applied my foundation on top of it, it completely disappeared, and it kind of felt like a pointless step. So I may try this again over top of my foundation, more like a liquid contour rather than a contour primer, but when used as intended, I was not very impressed by this. All right, next up is the Maybelline Gigi Hadid Jetsetter Palette. So this retails for $30 and comes with 2 concealers, 2 lipsticks, 2 brushes, 4 eyeshadows, a blush, a contour shade, and a highlighter, as well as a mini mascara. And I'll be kind of talking about this throughout the video because I kept coming back to it to use it for different things. But the first thing that I used were these concealers, and the way that I used them was by mixing them together because I found the first shade to be too light and the second shade to be too orangey and dark. So I mixed them together and I found the consistency very similar to the Maybelline Master Camo palette, which you guys know I'm not a fan of. It creases very easily, it kind of feels greasy on the skin. You can tell immediately that the longevity just isn't there, especially on oily skin. So not the best first impression by this palette. But after that, I did set my makeup using my No7 powder, and then I went in with these 3 products right here, starting with the contour shade. And what I found with the contour shade is that there was no way for me to dip my brush in here without getting a little bit of the blush color, and I wasn't using a large brush. So this is the e.l.f. contour brush, and every time I dipped it in there would just be a little bit of this blush color that got on the brush, and it made my contour color look very red based and not flattering on my complexion. So I found that to be really frustrating, and the only real brush size you could use is like an eyeshadow brush to just be able to get this shade. So I'm not a huge fan of how these are laid out. And then I went in with the blush, and I found the blush to be extremely pigmented and not in a good way. It applied way too much pigment right off the bat, and I barely picked any up on my brush. I ended up having to go back in with my foundation brush just to blend it out a little bit and not look like a clown. So I was not a fan of the pigmentation level of the blush. But when I went with the highlighter, this highlighter is absolutely stunning, you guys. This reminds me so much of the Molten Gold highlighter that they came out with previously, but this is more of like a pinky champagne shade. It is absolutely stunning and it feels super high quality. So I'm gonna come back to this palette because I did use it a few times and give you my final thoughts on that. But after I went in with those products, I picked up this. This is the Eye Contour Palette in Warm, and I saw this online and it reminded me a lot of the Naked palette. You know, the mini Naked palettes that just come with all matte shades to contour the eye. And even though it's $15, I thought, well, that's a lot better of a deal than the Urban Decay one. It's still a lot cheaper. But when I opened this, you guys, I was genuinely mad because the size of these eyeshadows is like a sample size of eyeshadow. These pans are tiny, there's no mirror, and this retails for $15. I was just really surprised when I saw how little of the packaging is taken up by actual product. And even though I found the shadows that I used to be nice and pigmented, there was a good amount of fallout. So after I kind of contoured my eye with this tiny palette, I went back in with the Jetsetter palette and used this lavender shade all over my lid and the shade right above it in my inner corner. And the shimmery shade is pigmented. I can definitely see it opening up my eyes. The lavender matte shade hardly showed up on my lid, so I was just not overly impressed. And then I went in with the new eyeliner. This is their liquid eyeliner. And this reminds me of a lot of other Maybelline eyeliners I tried, but this is decently priced at $9.99. It was relatively easy to do a cat eye, though I found it to be a little bit stiff and run out of juice faster than, say, my Physicians Formula one, but it did do the job. It's nice and black, and this was definitely one of my favorites from the collection. And then I went in with this, and this was very strange. I don't know if I just got a bad mascara or if it was functioning as intended, but I got the Fiber Mascara, which was $12.99, which is really pricey for a Maybelline mascara, but I wanted to pick it up because on one side it has a fiber mascara and on the other side it has the actual mascara. So I first went in with the Fiber Mascara and it was really strange. It almost looked like a fluff ball on the wand, and then when I was applying it to my eyes, it was kind of getting in my eye and just going everywhere. Again, I don't know if I got a bad one. It doesn't seem like that's the way it should function, but if it is, I don't recommend it. However, the mascara on the other side did a really nice job. I was really impressed by it. It coated my lashes nicely. It gave them a little bit of a curl and definitely gave me some volume. And then on the other eye, I went in with the mascara that comes with the Jetsetter palette, which is this Maybelline Colossal Volume Express. And I've never really been a fan of it, but I wanted to show you guys for those of you that maybe haven't tried it before. And between the two, I definitely preferred this mascara, though the fiber part of it is weird, and if I'm not going to use the fiber part of it, the $12.99 price tag doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then I went in with the liquid strobe highlighter in Iridescent, and I feel like this would be really nice for a natural makeup look. It wasn't overly pigmented. It leaned very pink, which is not typically what I go for, and I don't think it's any better than the original Maybelline liquid highlighter, and that one's $9.99, whereas this one is $11.99. And then lastly, I went in with this lip liner in Taura, and then the lipstick in Erin. These were my favorites from the collection. They're decently priced. They're in line with most of Maybelline's pricing. The lipstick is a very wearable kind of mauve-y nude. You guys know that's right up my alley. It looked beautiful all on its own. I filled in my lips with it, and I thought just kind of as a lipstick, this is beautiful. But then I went over it with this lipstick in the shade Erin, which is a perfect fall color, and it feels super comfortable. It claims to be a matte lipstick, but it doesn't feel matte. It's definitely not like a liquid lipstick. It will transfer, and it doesn't feel drying at all, which is definitely good for the winter times. So I was really impressed by both of those. So overall, the products that I was happy I purchased were the lip liner and the lipstick. I think they look really beautiful, great fall colors, and you're not paying too much of a premium, like I said. And then I also did enjoy the liquid eyeliner. Again, right in line with Maybelline's price point. And even though it was a little bit on the stiff side, I felt like I had a lot of control to create a cat eye. Products that I would not repurchase were this tiny eyeshadow palette. Like, I was shocked when I opened this. This is not worth $15. Don't waste your money. This mascara, because even though the mascara side was good, the fiber side didn't work for me. And then you're just paying $12.99 for a mascara that's not worth that. The liquid strobe I wouldn't recommend. If you want a liquid highlighter, go with their original one. I think it's better and it's less expensive. The primer I think is an innovative concept, but unless you're using it on its own or maybe trying it over your foundation, it seemed like it just kind of disappeared when I applied my base. Lastly, this Jetsetter palette. The positive things about it has a nice large mirror, which is great for travel. It comes with a couple okay brushes. The eyeshadows are not the most pigmented, but they're definitely decent, and this highlighter is absolutely stunning. And I mean, you kind of get everything you need all in one palette, so it is nice for people that travel a lot. That said, the things I don't like about this palette are, number one, the price point. $30 is a lot of money. Secondly, the consistency of the concealers I was not a fan of. These balms are extremely sheer, and the layout of these makes it really hard to get just one on your brush. And when I compare a $30 palette like this to, for example, the Melisa palette, which is $20, where everything in the palette is absolutely stunning, pigmented, perfectly laid out, and this BH Cosmetics Bronze Paradise palette, where same thing, and in both of those you also get a mirror. This one is $12. When I compare the price points on those and the quality, I just can't recommend or justify spending $30 on that Jetsetter palette. So overall, I think the packaging is beautiful, but it does remind me a lot of Fenty and KKW. I think this color is a little bit tired right now in the makeup industry, but it is beautiful packaging. So you are paying a premium for this really nice packaging and for the fact that it has the Gigi Hadid name on the packaging. So if you are her biggest fan, some of these products might be worth it to you, but if you're just looking for more good drugstore makeup, I think most of the collection that I've tried at least was a pass, especially considering the price premium. So I hope this didn't come across as negative. You guys know I just want to keep it real here on my channel and hopefully save you guys some money. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.